Hi there, it's Laverne again. I want to talk to you about managing expectations, the expectations of family, friends, coworkers, anyone who knows you enough to understand that basically they don't really understand the reasons for your being single. They may just know that you are single. For me, back in my 20s, when I was coming into myself and when I knew that getting married and having children were not going to be in the cards for me, I would often have to deal with my mother asking, well, don't you want to get married? Don't you want to have kids? When are you going to get married? And at first, I would flounder and become defensive, and I didn't quite know how to answer. But as I grew and came into myself even more, especially once I was in my early 30s, I realized that just simply saying, well, I don't really want to get married, or I'm not sure that I even want to get married, I realized that those statements were probably misleading, and all they did was prompt more questions. And then once I entered my early 30s, is when I discovered that I actually have what's called the gift of singleness. I was a young Christian woman at the time, and I was driving in my car listening to a Christian radio station, and the it was a talk radio station, and they were referencing a Bible text where Paul was talking to the Corinthians, and he was saying, I wish that you could be as I am. But if you can't, it's better for you to marry than to burn in hell. And basically what he was saying is that as a single person, you have more time to do the Lord's work. But if you're married, your time and your attention should be on your spouse and your children. In other words, your family is your mission field at that point, and that's where all of your energy should go. And when I heard that in my car, my ears kind of perked up, and I was like, wow, that's me. That's what I have. I have the gift of singleness. And I knew that everybody can't live happily as a single person. I knew that, and I still know that. But for me, it was so affirming. And I just felt like found, I finally knew who I was and how I was going to spend the rest of my life. And from that point on, I was able to manage the expectations of family and friends and coworkers by simply saying, I am a single person. I enjoy my own company more than anyone else is. I do not wish to get married. I am happily single. Now, I must say that my mom actually stopped asking once I was in my probably mid to late 30s. She just didn't even ask anymore. Are you going to get married? Do you want to have kids? Because I discovered that it doesn't matter really what you say, people still have expectations that every woman wants to get married. Every woman wants to become a mother. What's wrong with you if you don't? And I've learned that those are their expectations. And they're going to have to learn to manage them and live with them and get, deal with them. They're not my expectations. I know what I want, and I knew what I want back then. And I guess I just wanted to say that even though people are asking that, I don't think they mean any harm. But the longer you live your life as a happy single man or woman, I think that they will learn that they don't have to keep asking that question over and over again. That you are secure in who you are and that your life is yours to live as you please. And eventually, they will learn to respect your choice. I'm a firm believer that we teach others how to treat us. Now, asking questions, I wouldn't really call that abuse or disrespect or anything. But after asking the same question over and over, and yet they see that you're living your life, you're going right on with your life as a happily single individual, they will catch on. They will catch up to what you already know. Now, if on the other hand, you're not happily single and you have your family and friends bombarding you with questions about why don't you want to get married, or maybe your standards are too high, what's wrong with you? Those kinds of questions and comments can definitely, of course, they're irritating, but it almost reaches a point where you kind of have to put a stop to those kinds of things, especially if you're not very happy as a single person. I'm not quite sure what I could tell you to say. Perhaps something like, I'm looking, I know what I want, I'm content just the way I am. If I should meet someone, then I will definitely consider that possibility. And maybe after explaining that or saying variations of that, they will catch on and get the hint that while you're open to being in a relationship, you're not desperate, and you're not going to settle for the first individual that comes your way. It's really difficult to manage the expectations of others, but I think the key here is to know that those expectations belong to others and that you don't have to embrace them. You don't have to carry them. You don't have to wear them. You don't have to inhabit them. Yes, society has lots of expectations for single folk, but it's more important what you want and what your expectations are and how you choose to live your life. So be patient with yourself. Learn to be happy in your own skin. Learn to enjoy your own company. And always know that you are a whole, complete individual, all by yourself. You don't need to be in a relationship to feel validated, to be happy, or to be content. Let society manage their own expectations, and you focus on yourself and what you want and what's in your heart and what you desire. So that's my talk for this week on being happily single and managing expectations. Thanks for watching.